is there a trans revolution going on? Subject matter is on the news every day now. And we're not talking about just like one article, like it's everywhere, even in the courts. Okay. And so here we have one article that came out says a transgender girl will not attend her high school graduation after Mississippi judge denies emergency plea to permit her to go dressed as a girl. And that's part of the complaint that they filed in court. The so-called this individual wants to remain anonymous apparently, and he, she, whatever, wants to dress as a girl, and they say no, you're a boy, and you got to dress as a boy. And so that's one issue that's going on. And here you have another article that kind of goes on the opposite side of that. And this has to do with this organization called Do No Harm. It's a nonprofit, and that's somewhat criticized because people are saying, look, you're really doing politics, and you're shielding it under the label that it's a nonprofit. And it has to do, well, it has to do with several things, but they mention as an example this individual by the name of Cole, and says that she removed her breasts at the age of 15, and then she changed her mind, but it was too late. It was a mistake. And so they're using her as a poster, a boy poster girl, I guess, I don't know, for this trans stuff, saying, at least that you should not, make decisions when you're a teenager, right? Because you might repent, you might, and you can't take it back, right? Whatever you do there. Okay, so the question is, are we in some kind of what I call the trans revolution? We have a problem with humanity? Is there a problem with humans? Are we changing the way people are born, or is this just a fad? Okay, and here you have three individuals. They transition from male to female, and they're winning a lot of contests out there: boxing, kickboxing, biking, running, swimming. You got them in everywhere in every sport now. And is this just a way of making money? Like you're a boy, you change your sex, and suddenly you beat all the girls. Is that what that's all about? And yeah, a lot of the girls don't like the fact that they're competing against guys, right? And so there's this debate out there whether they should or they shouldn't. People also want to be named with the proper pronouns and so on. And other folks say, look, whatever you think you are, that's your problem. I'm gonna call you what I think I see. If you think you're a monkey, you want me to treat you like a monkey, that's your problem. It's like, I'm gonna see a boy or a girl, and that's what I'm gonna deal with. But if you think you're a monkey, you're a cow or whatever, a tree, well, it's like that's your problem. So they have these discussions going on. It's quite a bit in the news. And so the question is this just a fad, or is this for real? Is there something going on with humanity? Okay, that's I guess the bottom line question, right? Okay, so here we have a situation, especially in an article that came out in sports, and it's got to do with women who are making money, and it's like they don't go to the mines and work, underneath the ground and pull out the coal. They don't go to the shipyards and start unloading bags. That's not the kind of work they're doing. They all want to be models and actresses and make lots of money. And so here they have this swimsuit competition at the swimsuit search, right? Sports Illustrated branch, and you have all these girls, and they're applying, and I'm talking about thousands of girls, and all they all want to compete because they want to make money. And what is that? That's the entertainment business, right? You have all these some cute girls, they have great bodies, and you probably want to take a snapshot of them. You have some like the other ones, a little tubby there, and maybe Eskimo might confuse them and for something else, throw a harpoon at them. So I don't know. Is this all about a fad? Is this about entertainment? Is there something changing in humanity that is affecting our genes or whatever? Okay, that's the issue. And again, I'm saying, is this just entertainment or just a fad going on? Is this going to blow over, or is this a trend that's going to continue? And it was the Roman days. This was entertainment in those days. They called it bread and circus, right? They would go and see the gladiator die on the arena, and they loved it. They thought it was great, and it lasted many years. Okay, so this was entertainment in those days. No TV, right? No radio, and we have new entertainment these days, and this is maybe what it looks like. I'm saying for the last humans on Earth, we live in the age of leisure, age of entertainment. A lot of the stuff we have today the context is entertainment. What do we use robots, AI, and bots, aside from taking jobs from humans, right? Well, a lot of that has to do with the entertainment industry, right? All these things, video games, TV, movies, music, it's all entertainment, all leisure. So the guy's at home, he's got nothing else to do, he's got time to kill, right? And he goes through all this stuff. They go into diets, whether they're vegans or they eat meat, right? Whichever. Travel, sports, sex, as you just saw, these girls that they want to make money. Why? Because there's a lot of money in the entertainment business. They want to hit it big, the big time. And again, so the question is this just, we have fads like piercing, tattoos, veganism, and so on. Is this all related to leisure, to entertainment? Is it we have so much time on our hands compared to like the Neanderthals? In the old days, they had to get up and go and hunt if they wanted to live one more day. And we don't seem to have that problem. It's like, you just go to the store and somehow magically things appear on the shelves. And all you got to do is figure out how to make money to go out there and buy it. So, think about that. Anyways, here are the trends, and I call them the trans trends. Okay, it doesn't include only trans, it's got all the letters in the alphabet there. But there seems to be a growth of people who have a different version of sex than what we were used to. Okay, and you can see the numbers have been rising. And again, is this just a fad or is this real? That's a question you got to look at, because if this is real, it might be telling us something about humanity, about what's happening, the babies that are being born. Maybe they're being born when the woman is too late or the guy is too late, like they're in their 50s or 40s or whatever. That's one issue. The other one is that we have this society where we're crowded into cities. And for those of you who are familiar with Calhoun's experiments, you know what I'm talking about. You have that density-dependent birth rate. Then you have the issue of, founder's effect. We all come from the same great-great-grandfathers that were alive 200 years ago, and those came from great-great-grandfathers that came 200, 300 years earlier. So, if you look at humanity, we were like, 300 million at the beginning of the Christian era. It's a calculation they have. And today we are 8 billion. We all come from those people. In fact, we don't come from all of them because not all of them survived. So assuming we came from half of them, that even reduces our gene pool significantly, right? Even further. So here we are today, and we're having these problems. The question is this an issue of having lost our genetic diversity? Which we have, by the way. Anyone whom you marry today is your brother or your sister from a genetic point of view. Okay, in other matters, related matters, here we have China, and they're worried about the fact that they don't have enough population. They have 1.4 billion people, and they say, we want more. Yeah, the problem is China's not growing at the same pace it was in the past, and so they're a little concerned about that because when they project that into the future, they realize there's going to be problems. Okay, and here you have the article. It says China launches project to build new era marriage, childbearing culture. So the Chinese will launch pilot projects in more than 20 cities, okay, where they're going to stimulate marriage and childbearing. The project intends, to encourage women to marry and have children, and they claim that many women have been put off having more children or any at all due to expensive childcare and having to stop their careers, with gender discrimination still a key hurdle. Okay, so you can see what the problems are or the way they see it, and they want to cure that. They say we got to put the right conditions for women to have children. And it's not only China, Japan, Russia, the United States, Europe in general. Everybody's having problems. In fact, here's the article that summarizes that pretty much. Says, forget sex drive. The real reason the birth rate is dropping is much more mundane. Lower birth rates and falling fertility is a worldwide phenomenon. Absolutely. Okay, this is something that's happening worldwide, every country almost. In fact, every country in the world. I think there are no exceptions. There's no country where fertility rate, in other words, the birth rates are rising. Europe, very worried about population decline. Far right leaders such as so and so's are explicit about the need to replace their populations. A certain number of babies have to be born in order to support the aging population. So that's a question of social security. I guess they're worried about that a little bit, right? And then it says, if this doesn't happen, we need immigrants. Aha. Okay, so are we going to be importing people just for the sake of populating, of crowding the cities? Is that what it's all about, so that they can maintain the old population that used to live there? Right? Anyways, some of the problems that they say cause women not to have children, or couples not to have children, really, is housing, too expensive. Young people are living with their parents. Women don't want to go to long, bring up a child in poverty all by themselves. And remember, a kid is an anchor. If you're stuck with a kid, well, you can't really move around as easily. And so that's one of the things that is in people's minds. Affordable childcare, flexible working practices. Does the workforce need to adjust to accommodate women and their female problems? Like having babies, taking care of babies, and so on. Or how is that going to be solved, right? People may be prioritizing other goals. That's another issue. Again, what is it? Mostly leisure, right? It's entertainment, travel and career, right? And education. But a lot of that, again, is, like I say, it's got to do with the entertainment business. Everybody's into entertainment. We have quite a bit of time on our hands today because we don't have to go out there and till the land and produce the food. It's like, you punch your card, work 8 hours, go home, and now you have all this time, another 8 hours before you go to sleep for 8 hours, right? You have these 8 hours, and we use them for leisure primarily. And that's the issue. I think that's why it's become big business, and why a lot of companies are in that business, right? Because it's whichever branch you get into, whether it's television, modeling, whatever you get into, music, art, it has an outlet today. Someone will buy it. Okay, in related matters, we have some fake news. Here we had for several weeks Russian forces retreat, Ukraine advancing, Ukraine repels attacks, and so on. And what was it? I think today they claimed that the Wagner group, together with the Russian troops, they took over this wreck of a town known as Bakhmut. Okay, so yeah, I guess if they took over, I don't know what they conquered there, but lots of people got killed in the process, right? And so it's like you get fake news because you're saying, oh, okay, it looks like the Russians are retreating, they're going back, they're being slaughtered, and then suddenly they say, oh, by the way, the city fell into the Russian hands. So you don't explain, how do you explain these things? How does that work? lot of fake news regarding war. And again, it's just because they want to create public opinion to support it. And so you got to be careful what side you root for, because there's misinformation on both sides. Okay, it's what I call military information. The military allows certain type of information to go out because that's important for their strategies, right? So my recommendation: don't take any side. But that's just me. I learned the hard way not to get into politics, and that is politics, right? How you handle information. Okay, here more fake news. Okay, this is gives you an idea what kind of news we receive and why you should have to be careful with whatever you read out there. It says U.S. military thought it killed a senior Al Qaeda leader in a drone strike, but some officials are now saying they may have made a mistake. Looks like they killed a little farmer out there, right? And they say, we're no longer confident we killed a senior Al Qaeda official, one official told the Post. Another official said, though we believe the strike did not kill the original target, we believe the person to be Al Qaeda. Turns out the white helmets from the UN, they went out there to the field almost immediately after the guy was killed, and everybody in the region and in the town said that they had identified the individual with his name, his profession, and apparently he was just a farmer or whatever. Guy's always been a farmer. He's never had any political activities. He's never had any affiliation with armed groups. So I guess they went in there and just killed someone, and they say, oh, we're sorry. Oops. It's unbelievable. They can do whatever they want. Thank God they don't shoot you down, because they'll put out as an excuse, oh, we're sorry, we killed the wrong guy. That's the state of the world today.